Hi, and welcome to a technical example of destructing in ES6. My name is Mike de Rijk and I'm a teacher at Erasmus Hogeschool Brussels. Now, what is destructing? Destructing is a way to unpack values from an array or properties from an object directly into variables. Now we're going to do a small demo here. As you can see, I have three variables that have no value, x, y, and z. They are undefined at this point. And I have an array of 7 digits, so from 10 to 70. So let's say I want to have the first three actually in x, y, and z. Normally, I would do it like this. So x equals numbers, and then with the square brackets, we place the index. So, and I have to copy paste this twice, change this to 1, change this to 2, change the variables here to y and z. So this is the old school way of assigning variables from, or values, from an array to variables. Now there's an easier way to do it. Now, when we declare variables on the left side of the argument, now you can add square brackets to it. So x, y, z equals numbers. And to show you that it works, let me just console log x, y, z. And as you can see, it outputs 10, 20, 30. So I'm just running the code here with Node instead of hooking it up to an HTML for the demo purposes. So this one line at line 8 does the same thing as lines 4 through 6 do. We have the variables on the left side of the equal sign. We tell JavaScript that on the right side there needs to be an array. That's where the square brackets are for. And then it's going to take the first three values from that array and place them into the variables. Now let's say if I want 50, 60, 70. Now we're going to continue. Going to copy paste this to here. Just comment this out. Now, if we want to find the right value, you have to take care of the places on the left side. So, for example, say that I want 50, 60, 70. Well, I somehow have to tell on the left side that I want places, let me check, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 in the index. So I can do nothing, comma nothing, comma nothing, comma nothing, and I think we are here x, y, z. And we do the same thing again. So by placing several empty spaces or places in the beginning here, we tell them ignore the first, second, third, and the fourth value. So that means those four. And then actually we will take the last three into these variables. If I would run this again, I get 50, 60, 70. Great. Now we are going to continue this and I'm going to pass it along. So take only values 50, 60, 70. This will also be available on my GitHub as well in case anyone needs it. Now, for defaulting values, imagine that there is a shorter array. Let's say we have an array of letters that just has A and B. A, B. That's the only things it has in there. I just want to make sure that I always have a value in variable z or z basically. So defaulting values allows me. Let me declare it here. Defaulting values allows me to fill up a variable even if there's no value to unpack from the array. Let me show you. X, Y, Z equal letters. So you might guess now what the solution would be if I would run this in the console log. Think about it. And of course, it's A, B, and undefined because the first two are filled in. There are values available in the array that we can unpack and place into the variable. But Z, there is nothing that can be taken because there are only two values. So we can default this to say, for instance, no value. Now if I try again, you see the difference, of course. So this is how you default in destructing. Now imagine we have the opposite problem, that we have more values that we want. Let's say let numbers 2. Okay. Let's say we have more values than we want, as in we only know that the first two are there, but the last one, I don't know, do I get 1? Do I get 2? Do I get 50? I just want to capture them all. There's a very good method in ES6 that's also available. It's called a rest parameter. Let me explain. We have, again, our destructuring, X, Y, Z, and numbers 2. So in this case, again, we would have the same 10, 20, 30 value in the console log. Now, let's say I want Z to capture everything beyond the first two. So 10 is going to be assigned to X, 20 is going to be assigned to Y, and then all the rest, no matter how many there are, needs to be captured in Z. There's a very easy way, namely 3 dots. The 3 dots is a rest parameter. It will capture everything behind the second element and place it in Z. Now I'm going to log it. You might take a moment to guess what type of variable Z is going to be. You guessed it yet? It's an array. So as you can see, the X is 10, Y is 20, and then we get an array of 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, because it's going to take everything else and then place it in a new array or gather them up with the rest parameter. Good. Now that we have seen some stuff for array destructing, we can do the same with objects as well. So objects, let me build an object right here. Object person equals just a literal object. And I have a first name property. First name property called Mike. Let's have my age here, it's 32. And hobby, let's say guitar. Cool. I have an object with 3 properties. Now, if I again want to create or use X, Y, and Z to fill them up, say first name goes to X, Y goes to, age goes to Y, hobby goes to Z. Then I still have to do the standard way of assigning properties. That means X equals person dot first name. And you see where this is going. Of course, age, hobby. This is Y, this is Z. So this is the standard way of creating new variables based on properties of a person, or sorry, of an object. Now, we cannot do standard destructing with an object. There is a limitation to that, namely the name of the properties. So let me just show you how destructing works. We now use the curly brackets to say, hey, we expect an object on the right side of the equal sign. And when you would do XYZ equals person, it's not really going to work. Why? Because destructing needs to work with the same values of the property. So let me just change these to first name, age, hobby. And of course, it's the first time. Let. So this is how we would declare new variables and destruct an object at the same time. The limitation here is not position, but it is name. So if I want to create a new variable, which automatically has the value Mike in it, that variable needs to be called the same as the property of where I am going to take the value from. So first name will automatically look in the object person if there's a property called first name. If so, the value will be transferred into this variable and you can actually use it then. So, example, let me just build a string. My name is, then just show you template literals again. First name, I am age, and I love, let's say that, hobby. Voila. Now, if I would log this, my name is Mike, I am 32, and I love guitar. Voila. So, again, there is no order here, there is no position here. We can do what we want with it. Now, something else, if I want to only take one, let's add something new here. I want to say, let me check, occupation, teacher. Teacher. If I only want a teacher, you can also do it separately like this. Occupation, person. So they don't have to all be there. That's one. There is no order guarantee. So if I would change this to this, this would have no impact at all. The text would still be the same. Everything still works. And of course, this would only take out the occupation property with that value. So I hope you've learned something about destructing. This code will be available on my repo for the class to look at. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.